Hey everyone, I figured it would probably be apt for me to just put a little disclaimer at the beginning of this video to say that I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not offering medical advice. I am a random on the internet. And I'm just documenting what we are doing. If it gives you ideas, I encourage you to talk to your doctor and do your own research. Before you do anything, this is just what we are doing. So here we go. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Megan, and for the past year and a half I have been filming my postpartum body rebuilding journey because I thought we were done having kids. But here we are. So today is August 3rd and it is officially cycle day 1 of our first cycle trying to conceive baby number 3. If you have not yet watched the video I uploaded just before this one where I talk about how we came to the decision of trying to conceive, I would suggest you watch it if you are interested in context. Just a brief summary, 12 days ago we had a life-changing conversation where my husband and I decided that we wanted to try for one final baby. It shocked my socks off because I really thought we were done having kids. Especially I thought he was done having kids. But ever since he brought it up and I had like 24 hours to get over my anxiety and fears and all of those crazy extreme feelings that come with realizing you are about to willingly, potentially change your entire life, it has felt nothing but right deep down in my gut. And there's all these little signs that I look around and see. Like, we have 5 chairs at our dining room table. We have 5 seats in our car. We have, it's just all these little things where I realize that all along, perhaps I knew I wasn't done. I always thought it was just because I wanted to experience pregnancy and childbirth and breastfeeding and all those magical momentary times in life. But truly, when I think about our future 10, 15, 20, 25 years down the road, 2 was just not feeling like our number, and I don't know how to judge that by. I don't know how under the influence I am by just pure excitement, but deep down when I try to process this war of emotions and feelings and excitement and fear and everything, I always come back to the sense that whatever the outcome is going to be, this is something we are meant to be doing right now. Does that make sense? I just have this sense of peace about what we're doing. That doesn't mean I'm not scared. It doesn't mean I don't still have all the worries and anxieties of realizing that I'm rocking the boat right now, because we always knew we wanted to have 2. That was something we were going to do no matter what. Once we got 1, we realized we had to get another, because I couldn't live with the thought of something happening to my husband and I and my only child being orphaned. That was not something I was willing to ever gamble with. So we always knew we were going to have 2. We never thought we were going to have 3. So I do feel like I'm stepping into this place of should I just be grateful for what I have and not risk something bad happening somehow? It's like those over analytical, what's the word? Superstitious, I don't know. It's so many feelings and fears and those gut checks that you need to go through. Those really uncomfortable questions and scenarios you really have to go through. And in my circumstance, in a very short period of time, to make sure that you are making this huge life impacting decision with all stones being turned, no stones being unturned, right? Because it's really easy to just think about only the good. Only the good is going to come. I'm going to have this magical vaginal birth. Everything's going to be fine. My body's going to be great. My baby's going to be perfectly healthy. I'm not going to go through miscarriage. I'm not going to go through like any of the bad things. Breastfeeding is going to be wonderful this time. It's really easy to think you can just manifest magic, and rainbows and unicorns. And that is not the case. So the past 2 weeks have been a mess of me trying to reconcile my excitement and my eagerness and my impatience with my fear and my worries and my anxiety. Not just the fears of rocking the boat, but also like, you guys, I'm not young anymore. I have already passed that first fertility drop-off like cliff. When we tried to conceive my second kid, like I started this channel in 2017, several months before we even started trying to conceive. I documented all the supplements I was taking. I was doing this and that to try to improve my uterine lining and antioxidants and all of like the most expensive prenatals and prenatal DHA and all of these like evening primrose oil and stuff to like make my fertile cervical mucus better. And I did all of these things for months. And even still, we miscarried twice before conceiving my son. And now I'm 3 years older and flying blind without any like quality long-term, supplemental regimen in my system. So thankfully, because I documented everything last time, I knew exactly what to order, exactly what to take, and I'm on the train now. But as it stands, it's not going to be until November that I'm ovulating eggs that were like fully produced in this environment of lots of antioxidants and egg quality boosters and all the vitamins and everything. So, and the worst part about that, and the reason why this is a bit of an issue, is I talk about this more in the other video I uploaded, but we only plan on trying through November. So that should give me 5 cycles between now and then to try to conceive. And it's not going to be until those like last 2 cycles where my eggs are going to be as good as they'll get. So it's just a very short window of time to try to conceive. But again, like December and January, we have to take off just because of the way it will play into timing with when my sister gets married next year. And then we're talking about trying to conceive in like February or March of next year, meaning if we were so lucky to get pregnant then, I'd be having a baby when I'm 39. And I don't know. My husband and I are going to have to sit down and reassess and talk about it if it doesn't happen between now and November. And I genuinely think, especially on his part, but probably on mine too, if it doesn't happen in the first 5 to 6 cycles, we're probably going to end up just thinking that that's nature's way of saying, don't do this. Things aren't right. You're too old. Don't rock the boat. Don't force this. So, it's just hard. This whole situation, there's like no real right answer other than my gut feeling. And the fact that my gut has so easily shifted to saying, this sits well, this feels right, it means something to me. Because, like I said, it's easy to think that everything is just going to be perfect and beautiful and ignore the red flags. But when you really check in with yourself and your gut is saying, despite this being a calculated risk scenario, it still feels right, that means something to me. So we're just going to do this. We're going to try it. And we're going to see what happens. I'm trying to remain realistic. I'm trying to keep my head on my shoulders and to tell myself that if it does not work out, it will not have been for a waste. There was a reason for this for some reason. There's a reason why this all came to be and how things very oddly lined up in my favor. I'm a very big believer that everything happens for a reason. And I'm trying to keep my mind and heart open to the fact that there are a lot of benefits to it just remaining the four of us. And if that's the way it's going to be, then I'm going to count those blessings and I'm going to continue on with my life and just have this be a very fun, spur of the moment, last final hurrah for my fertility, and close the chapter forever. But if it does happen, I'm also going to take that as a sign that it was meant to be, because it feels right now in my life. My heart and my body and my whole life, honestly, feels very open to welcoming another person into it. So it's just a very interesting and beautiful and very unexpected time in life to be sitting in. Okay, it's like 11 p.m. on Thursday, August 5th. I'm very tired right now, so forgive this whole situation here. I have to be quiet because my kids are sleeping, obviously, but my husband is finishing up a project in the garage, so I figured I'd just stay up until he got in. And I figured I'd take this time to quickly run down the supplements we are currently taking just so that I can lock them in and go back and reference them. So I have them written down here. That is why I'm going to be looking down, but let's just jump into it. My husband alone is currently taking the following things. He's taking a grapefruit seed extract in the quantity of 100 milligrams. He's taking selenium in the quantity of 100 UG. I don't know how you say those units. Ashwagandha in the quantity of 600 milligrams. CoQ10, but that has 60 milligrams CoQ10, 6.8 milligrams of vitamin E, and 160 milligrams of vitamin C. And then he's taking the Javita brand of zinc and vitamin C in the quantities of 25 milligrams zinc and 200 milligrams vitamin C. In addition to that, both he and I are taking 1 teaspoon of the Raw Powders brand yellow maca root powder. We just mix it into water and throw it back. We are each taking a vitamin D3 supplement in the quantity of 5,000 IE. I think that's international units, IE. We're both taking 100 milligrams of grape seed extract. We're each eating 1.5 cloves of raw garlic each day, and we are splitting a dose of a women's multivitamin by the brand Mitval. And the only reason it's women's is because it's just something we've had on hand, and a multivitamin is a multivitamin, So we are splitting it because he's taking like a bunch of different vitamins, like the selenium and the zinc and the vitamin C. So I didn't want to like overload his liver with all these additional ones. And then I'm also taking some supplements that have like prenatal vitamins and everything. So it's a little complicated, but next cycle, if we're not successful this cycle, next cycle, I'm going to kind of clean it up and just stick to a more basic regimen where I'm not like splitting doses. But anyway, so continuing for me, I alone also am taking the Farbio brand of prenatal DHA and EPA fish oil. I'm taking a half dose. And then in addition to those oils, I am taking a 2/3 of a dose of the Now brand of prenatal gels and DHA. Just a note about this, I actually thought that this was only prenatal DHA and like GLA, EPA, that kind of thing when they said prenatal gels. It turned out to actually be a prenatal vitamin. So that's why I'm only taking 2/3 of a dose, because I'm also taking a half dose of this just standard non-prenatal vitamin. So it's a little messy right now, but I'm just trying to bring my body up to speed, and next cycle, if we get there, I'm going to clean it up. Anyway, I am also taking 1,000 milligrams of L-arginine. I forgot to write down the brand of that. And I'm taking 300 milligrams of ubiquinol from a brand called Vied. So all those things that he and I, my husband and I, are taking, it's a combination of just regular vitamins, fertility boosting supplements, fertility optimizing supplements, and antioxidants. So that's what we're taking. So let it be written. And then just to break down our battle plan for the month, I am temping daily, basal body temping every morning, vitamins daily. I'm having a raw smoothie of vegetables we pick fresh from our garden every day. In fact, I will put the recipe here because it's delicious and even my toddlers love it. So there you go. I'm gonna start taking OPKs on cycle day 6. I generally ovulate on cycle day 10, I think at least, but I would like to start documenting the pattern of it. So I will probably take OPKs twice a day, starting cycle day 6 and then going all the way through to cycle day 12, maybe even 13, I don't know. I plan on eating the core of a pineapple in my smoothie each day from 1 DPO to 5 DPO. They say the bromelain enzyme in that helps promote like a healthy uterine lining. I'm drinking red raspberry leaf tea each day from cycle day 1 to ovulation, and then I will stop and wait and see what happens, and then start it back up on cycle day 1 if we get there. And then, so 2 other things. Pre-seed, we used pre-seed when we were trying to conceive my son. We tried for 3 cycles. We had 2 early losses, chemical pregnancies, and then we conceived my son. We used pre-seed each time. I have since heard like things where people say that using fertility lubricant can increase your chance of miscarriage because it can help more suboptimal sperm make it to your fallopian tubes. I can totally see the like logic in that, and it's probably true, but the way I see it is it's such a marginal amount of lubricant. It's not like it's like a freaking rocket straight up to the egg, right? So in my opinion, the more swimmers I can get there, the better odds are that we can get pregnant. So I'm going to use it this cycle. I'll probably use it next cycle if we get to that point, and then we'll just go from there. And then for pregnancy tests, my plan is only to test on 10 and 11 DPO. I only have the cheapy, easy at home test strips. I do have some like nicer ones, but I don't plan on using them until I actually see a line or think I see a line. I know from experience I'm not going to see any lines on those test strips before 10 DPO. I know some women see them. I know it can happen. It hasn't in my experience, and honestly, the line would be so faint that it would just add a whole nother day of stress and like let down if on 10 and 11 DPO I don't see this line getting darker. So I'm trying to like optimize my hope and minimize the stress. So 10 and 11 DPO, that's when I have always seen faint lines. But I know that if I don't see a faint line on either of those days, there's still hope. It's not too late. So I would like to just ride that hope straight through to the day my period is supposed to come. And then my period is either going to come and we get to start a whole new cycle right then and there, or it's not going to come and then I can test and I can just be hopeful, you know? And if I get let down, then I know my period is going to start pretty much any minute. And again, then we can just jump right into the next cycle. I don't want to test on 12 DPO and not see anything, realize I'm out, because let's just be honest, right? And then have to fret about it for the next 3 days, 12 DPO, 13 DPO, 14 DPO, before my period starts. Like, why make this process that much longer? I'd rather stew in anticipation and hope instead of like misery. So those are the supplements we're doing. That is the plan for this cycle. Like I said, it's almost cycle day 4. So it's 2 more days before I can even start taking OPKs. And then, and then my fertile window is gonna open on cycle day 7. So, I mean, it's gonna come up. Time is going to go by. It just feels incredibly slow at the moment. Anyway, this is a long video. I'm gonna cut it out, but I will now cut to my live OPKs. So stay tuned for that. It's 6 p.m. on Wednesday, August 11th. This is my second OPK of the day. I got a low reading at 11 a.m. this morning, which I thought was surprising because I expected to get my positive OPK today because I normally ovulate on cycle day 10. And I'm less than a minute into processing on this strip, and that is a dark ass line. But I don't know what that means in terms of, because I don't think this is going to actually be positive. I think it's on its way, which means it'll be positive tomorrow. It'll be positive tomorrow, which means I will either ovulate tomorrow evening, or cycle day 11. What's interesting is I have not had any EWCM. I will write on the screen what that means. It's fertile cervical fluids. Normally I have a lot, and this cycle I have had absolutely zero. So I'm hoping by tomorrow it will show up. So this is the end result. Several hours ago, I started getting some faint pains on my right side, and they have since spiraled into full-blown ovulation pains. So I'm definitely, at least my body's trying to ovulate on the right side. And it would be then like perfectly in line with 24 hours after my first positive OPK. Ovulating at the end of cycle day 10, that's not too early. I am not going to test OPKs anymore. I don't see the point, but I am just going to continue basal body temping to confirm that this actually happened, that my body actually ovulated. So that's that, which means I am officially in my very first 2-week wait for baby number 3. And I'm just so excited. You guys, whether we get pregnant this cycle or not even next cycle, the following cycle, any of the cycles, even if it doesn't work, the simple fact that I get to be here and feel this feeling again is such an indescribable gift, because I genuinely never thought I would be able to feel this again, to actively try and then to do all the things and know that we've done what we can. We've put the ball in Mother Nature's court, and now we get to just wait and see what happens. It's so exciting. I know as the TTC journey drags on, a lot of people can grow to despise the 2-week wait. This is my first cycle. I'm sure everyone feels super excited in their first cycle, like the 2-week wait. Maybe not. Maybe a lot of people immediately feel anxious, but for me, these next 2 weeks are going to be full of so much hope and magic and daydreaming and just sitting back and wondering what's happening in my body. I feel my egg rupturing from my ovary right now. And I know we've done it enough times that there's hope.
Hey, Mommy.
Hey, you come. There's hope that there are swimmers there waiting to receive it. So it's just very exciting. I mean, it might not work. Who knows? But just to think about it, it's such a gift. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now. I will see you guys in the next one where we do our live pregnancy test. So stay tuned. Macy, will you say hey?
Hey.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Hey,